My question to you is retirement the end of life? Is retirement the ebb of life? Or is retirement freedom? Is retirement light? That is the question I pose to you.
Come to Brazil, Bruno, come to Brazil. Come to Brazil, Bruno, come to Brazil. Come to Brazil, Bruno, come to Brazil. Come to Brazil.
So now we have talked about everything under the sun. We have talked about happiness, talked about dreams, talked about inspiration, manifestation, love relationships, abuse in every form and shape, self-love. So I would assume that with all these topics, whoever this human being is, has lived through life and has gained the wisdom. Not everyone gains the wisdom, by the way. But let's just say this person, or whoever it is, has lived his or her life. I have lived my life in many shapes and forms. So I have friends, and myself as well. They talk about retirement. Retirement. My question to you is retirement the end of life? Is retirement the ebb of life? Or is retirement freedom? Is retirement light? That is the question I pose to you. Let me tell you different pictures of my friends, human beings, who are thinking about that. I had this, I was in a relationship, and it was a serious relationship. And I was devastated when I ended it. And he was a millionaire, and his brother was a multimillionaire. And they used to joke. They had this joke because they lived a stressful life. Yes, there is a price to pay for that money. So they lived a stressful life. And the joke was that there was this fisherman in the morning, early morning, would go off to sea and would fish. And so this high-powered hedge fund man was vacationing in this island. And he said to the fisherman, "Don't you have dreams bigger than fishing in the morning? Don't you have dreams of going to the big city and make a name for yourself? Carve a life that is materially rich for yourself, so that when it is the time to retire, you retire in peace. You retire in wealth. You retire in richness." And the fisherman said, "I am already living that life." That was meant to be a joke, because the men who were talking about this were millionaires. Another picture of that is a coworker of mine, and he said, "I'm a little bit worried about retirement." And I said, "Why are you worried about retirement?" He said, "Because I don't think I have enough." And I said, "How could you not have enough? How much do you need?" And he said how much he needs. And he said, "That is how much I need, and I'm only one person. You and your wife, you earn so well." Which, by the way, I'm talking about here now. The first one were millionaires. Now I'm talking about middle class, upper middle class people. I said, there's two of you. There's so much. And then he said, "Well, I guess I'm worried because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." I have another friend, and this is Efren, my dear, dear friend Efren at work. They call him Little Man. He's so hardworking. And even if he already needs to retire, he's still working. And why? Only he will know, but I have a story about that. I am an artist and I have shows in Europe. And I choose to live an exciting life. When I first started showing in Europe, and of course it costs, you know, trip to Europe. And when I have a show, I want it to be lavish. I want it to support my brand. So it takes an investment. And I asked my coworkers, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I go to Europe and do this show? She's a younger woman. And she said, do it while you have the energy. Do it while you have the looks. Yes, that's a big thing for Filipinos. Do it while you have the looks. Do it that you have the energy. Do it with your strength and with your health. And since you can afford it, do it. So I did it. And I'm still doing it. And I'm even doing more because I choose to live an exciting life. So, Efren, but on hindsight and sometimes on the side, I will talk about my financial worries because I am single and I'm by myself. And so I have a show in Europe again, and he says, there you are again. You're spending money again. And then I just kept quiet. And he said, how did you get that show? Is it because you have money? And I was a little bit hurt by that. And I retorted back and I said, it is not because I have money. First of all, you have to have a talent to even be in that show. So I said to him, why do you ask me that question? I said, why do you ask me that question? And then he said, and he is just a sweet, sweet man. He said to me, and maybe he doesn't realize and he doesn't remember he said this to me. He said that because honestly, I don't know what to do. Because I have tried businesses in the past and they always failed. They always failed. And I said, who told you to do that business? And he said, oh, a relative here and a relative there. So my thoughts to these different scenarios is that the millionaire and the fisherman, I guess they're both right. They're both right. But at the end of the day, you really have to analyze what makes you happy. What makes you feel at peace. Maybe for the fisherman, that is enough for him. Fishing during the day, taking the fish home, the family having fish for dinner. Maybe for the hedge fund manager, a millionaire, multi-millionaire, maybe, I'm sure he's going to be very well set when he retires. But is that enough? Usually, when money is too much, money is never enough. But I don't have that much money. I am blessed, yes. But I have not been in that position. So that is the story of the hedge fund manager and the fisherman. I guess bottom line, or the moral to this story, is that there should be balance. And with balance comes peace, comes happiness, comes fulfillment. Balance. Before you retire, look for a hobby, look for an activity that you love and that can fill your time when it is time to retire.